Hey everyone, it's good to see you. Thanks for pressing play on our video and watching this through. It's we're coming up to our third week of the month, and as you may already know, the third week and fifth week of the month is always Church Online, and it's always focused towards sharing and Sabbath. But I want to talk about that first thing today. I want to share a little bit about sharing. We have a responsibility to share Jesus with people in our world. And you can do this through simply sharing the service online. It's never been easier. But there are other ways we can share. We can share an encouraging message either online, or you can write a note. You can send over text. You can share someone an encouraging message about who Jesus is and faith. Or maybe you could sit with someone. You could sit with someone maybe on Sabbath. Actually take the time to sit with them, to be with a friend and watch church online together. Or you can sit and pray with them. But in all those ways, you're sharing Jesus with the world around you. And how you share is important, but even more important is that you share. So I want to read a scripture to you right now. It says in Romans 10 verses 9, and we'll go to 13, then we'll add verse 14 on a bit later. It says this: if you openly declare that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. That's good news right off the bat, right? But then it says, for it is by believing in your heart that you are made right with God, and it is by openly declaring your faith that you are saved. As scripture tells us, anyone who trusts in him will never be disgraced. Jew and Gentile are the same in this respect. They have the same Lord who gives generously to all who call on him. And then it says in verse 13, for everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. For us as Christians, there are realities that we live by. One of those realities is our eternal destination. We either have eternity with Jesus in love and life, which heaven or new creation, or we have eternity without Jesus in disconnection and destruction. And God's heart for humanity, for all of us, is that we would be saved from destruction and live with him in eternity. And all that's required of us is to believe in Jesus. It's not money, it's not time, it's not work, it's not effort. All that's required of us to be saved is to believe. And so I think this next verse 14, is so vitally important, and it says, but how can they call on him to save them unless they believe? And how can they believe in him and if they've never heard about him? And how can they hear about him unless someone tells them? And this is the point. As I was reading the scripture this week, it jumped out at me. Unless someone tells them. How can someone be saved unless someone tells them? That's our job. Our job is to share Jesus. Our job is to share Jesus with the world around us. Someone's eternity depends on us sharing. Now, our job is not to save. That's Jesus' job. But our job is to share, to put it out there. But if we don't share, how will people be saved? I want to say that it's actually never been easier to share Jesus. One of the easiest ways to do this is by sharing the service on social media. It's never been easier, And if you're not sure how to do that, what we've done, we've put a link on this post that will take you to a video by Josh McCardle. It's a tutorial of how to actually share on social media what's happening in our church, to share our church service every Sunday. So please watch that if you need that tutorial, if you feel like you need help in sharing. But, it's not just sharing the service. It could be sharing something, sharing anything, just telling someone. It's so important that we're connecting people to Jesus. Because how can people believe unless you share with them? I want to let that sit with you as we finish. And I hope that challenges you today. How can people believe? How can people be saved unless you share? I hope that challenges you. I know it challenges me. And I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank you for watching this video to its end, taking the time to view this and taking the time to consider, how does that look for me? I hope this challenges you again. Hope this calls you more towards what God has for you in your life. Thanks for tuning in. See you soon.